You guys probably know Richard Dawkins if you've been involved in the atheist community to any degree ever. He's a famous atheist, wrote the book The God Delusion. I'm not a Christian, and when I was coming out of Jehovah's Witnesses, exiting and realizing like what happened to me, I was outraged, as a lot of people are when they realize what their high control religion did to them when they were younger. Richard Dawkins' book has helped a lot of people. I gotta hand it to him. But this dude is going down a real weird road now. This is on Hemant Mehta's Substack. If you're unfamiliar, he's a pretty cool guy. He wrote the foreword to my book, owenmorgan.com, by the way, if you want to check the book out. It's about Jehovah's Witnesses, their history and my experiences with them and everything, their culture, all of it. Also, check out my Patreon. I appreciate that. owenmorgan.com/Patreon. It's all in the description. Anyway, check this out. Hemant Mehta wrote this on a Substack, August 11th, 2024. Let's just kind of read through it because Richard Dawkins got himself into a little bit of a controversy here. On Friday, best-selling atheist author Richard Dawkins claimed that his Facebook page had been shut down all because of a tweet he made condemning the female boxer who's been wrongly described by many on the right as male. Yeah, that's Imaine Khalif. Is that the name? I think that's the name. Boxer in the Women's Olympics. And it spread all over everything that she's really a man when it's just not true at all. It's just not. Imagine that. Somebody, you accomplish something big with your life. You're super excited. And somebody accuses you of being like the opposite gender. Imagine that for a second. How low would you feel? Just think about like Michelle Obama and all the conspiracies about her being a man. How low must you feel to hear what these people are saying? I feel so bad for Imaine Khalif, who is a woman. Anyway, Dawkins says he was censored for talking about it. This is what Hemant Mehta said. None of that made any sense at the time, and now there's proof that Dawkins was spreading a lie. It may be too late, though, since right-wing conspiracy theorists have broadcast that misinformation to their massive audiences. All of this began over a week ago after Dawkins shared an article while claiming that two men masquerading as women were allowed to box in the Olympics against real women. One of those boxers was Imaine Khalif, an Algerian who later went on to earn the gold medal. Algeria does not allow you to be trans. You will die, or you'll go to jail for it. It's really not good at all. She's not trans. Anyway, this is what Richard Dawkins tweeted. Two men masquerading as women are being allowed to box against real women in the Olympics. Completely false. Back to Hemant Mehta. If you haven't followed this controversy, Khalif was accused of having XY chromosomes and therefore not being a real woman, quote unquote. The problem with that argument is that Khalif was assigned female at birth and identifies as a woman today. She is not trans. She's not intersex. She was never anything except female. Richard Dawkins claimed that it was confirmed that she has XY chromosomes. That was not confirmed. Where did he hear that? Who told him that? There is some organization claiming that she had XY. Nobody else has made that claim. They haven't provided any evidence of it or anything. It's just people yelling it into the void and others wish casting it, believing it's true. I mean, unless something's changed since I produced this video, no one has proven that she's trans or has any reason to believe she's trans at all. None. Back to Hemant Mehta. She's not trans. She's not intersex. She's never anything except female. The International Olympic Committee, the IOC, said Khalif and the other boxer met their eligibility criteria. Beyond all that, it's ludicrous to think an openly trans person could even exist in Algeria, where LGBT rights are non-existent, much less represent them at a global competition. In fact, there are no trans athletes at this year's Olympics, though they might be eligible under certain circumstances. Yeah, as far as like trans people in sports goes, I don't think that there's any way that trans people can participate in sports, for better or worse. You'll get like this nonstop. You get people lying about you and twisting it around and downplaying your accomplishments and everything else. Anyway, let's keep reading Hemant Mehta here. The controversy emerged after stories spread about how the two boxers were eliminated from the International Boxing Association's World Championships last year, after the IBA's Russian president said they failed a gender eligibility test due to XY chromosomes. Those claims, however, were never backed up by any evidence, and oh hey, what a coincidence, Khalif's disqualification at the event helped boost the prospects of a Russian athlete. It's telling that the IBA didn't disqualify Khalif until after she had beaten that Russian opponent. It's interesting, isn't it? You know what? Russia's been banned from like the Olympics multiple times, right? For doping, because they were like using steroids and stuff. You know, some countries are trustworthy by and large. You know, you can trust that they're not going to use steroids or not going to push them on their athletes or whatever. Some just are not. Russian athletes have just about always shown up with like test results showing that they have been taking steroids or something. They've been doping. Anyway, back to Ahmed Mehta. The allegation that Khalif was a male punching a female in the name of sport, as J.K. Rowling insisted, has no basis in reality. Yet Dawkins not only spread that lie, spread Russian propaganda, really. He went on to mock the very idea of trans people competing in any sports. He posts a meme for the audio audience. It's a picture of cyclists at a competition and one guy out front with a motorcycle. And it says, biker who identifies as a cyclist wins the Tour de France. It's just like anti-trans bullshit that has no connection to reality at all. Like, this stuff is not happening. I'm not even going to, like, argue that it should, because we're not even there, okay? I'm going to argue that you're full of shit. It's not happening. I'm not even going to try, like, defending a position that's fictitious. When it happens, then we'll talk about it. Richard Dawkins also retweeted this post. It says, first biological cheetah who identifies as a man set to take gold for Liechtenstein at the Paris Olympics. Back to Ahmed Mehta. Sadly, none of this is very surprising. Dawkins has been spreading transphobic ideas for some time now, but the didn't hit the fan until Friday when he said his Facebook account had been deleted because of his posts. Quote, my entire Facebook account has been deleted, seemingly no reason given, because I tweeted that genetically male boxers, such as Imane Khalif, XY Undisputed, that's simply false, should not fight women in the Olympics. Of course, my opinion is open to civilized argument, but outright censorship? Boy, would it be embarrassing if he had to come out and admit that he was wrong, that he was not censored for his opinions, right? Oh man, I would feel like shit if I had to do that. Unfortunately, Richard Dawkins did come out and admit he was wrong. Oops. This is so sad, dude. Richard Dawkins seriously helps a lot of people. By talking about this subject, by releasing this video, I have burned a bunch of bridges. I can no longer work with certain people or organizations because I'm talking about this. But I feel it's important to point out the problems in your own community. I don't hate Richard Dawkins. I hate that he's being a scumbag for no reason. Anyway, this is Richard Dawkins' post on Substack. Short, like after his Facebook account was restored or whatever. Notice he tweeted it on Twitter originally, the accusation. Got how many engagements? Like, wow, this one says 2,300 views, but I'm not sure that that's accurate now. It's certainly not accurate now. I mean, some of his posts got 1.2 million views, 1.7 million views. I'm not sure how many likes, but anyway, the point is that he is very influential on Twitter, but he goes to Substack, didn't even know the dude had one, to apologize and say, I got it wrong. Are those 1.7 million people going to get this message? I doubt it. What's more, if he does post it to Twitter, are they going to read this whole thing? I doubt it. Anyway, this is Richard Dawkins' apology for getting it wrong. On July 30th, my Facebook account was closed down with no reason given. Associates of mine got in touch with a kind lawyer, very experienced in exactly this kind of case, and he offered pro bono to negotiate with Facebook on my behalf. I appreciated his generosity and accepted his offer. He approached Facebook and received no reply. Because no reason was given for the shutdown and no reply to the lawyer's overtures, I'm sorry to say we jumped to the wrong conclusion. Might it have been some connection with my contemporaneous stand against genetically male boxers fighting in women's Olympics? That didn't happen, though. I then tweeted what turned out to be false suspicion of Facebook's motives, and I deeply regret this. No fucking shit. Wow. You know, it's so funny to me that he regrets casting aspersions on Facebook. He's apologizing for mistreating Facebook. Oh my God, dude. He's not apologizing for slandering somebody, for lying about them, I guess libeling them, for defaming them anyway. He's not apologizing for whipping people into a blood frenzy over like anti-trans hate. None of that. Doesn't care. He's apologizing to Facebook. I don't even know what to do with this. On August 10th, I received an email from an official at Facebook saying he was looking into the question. He sent me a second email the same day giving a full explanation. Facebook's records showed, he explained, that one of the admins with access to my account had been hacked as long ago as June 22nd. This is mid-August when he posted all of these tweets, so it'd been a few months. And the hacker added a flurry of unauthorized admins. Their subsequent behavior alerted Facebook, who closed the account down while they worked on the problem. My Facebook account was restored on August 11th, and I am very grateful. We knew none of this until August 10th, 11 days after the account was shut down. Now I'm left in the mortifying position of having unjustly imputed an ignoble motive to Facebook. I can't even believe he's apologizing to Facebook over this. Jesus. I must say, it's a pity that whoever decided to close my account, certainly not the kind of official who eventually was brought in to investigate the problem, omitted to get in touch at the time. Nevertheless, I accept responsibility and publish this to correct the record and apologize. Thank you so much for defending Facebook. Defending Facebook's good honor and proving that Facebook will not take down hateful posts that are attacking a community for some intrinsic attribute about who they are. Thanks for defending Facebook on that, Richard. Look, what he said is false. She's not XY undisputed, quote unquote. Why isn't he retracting that? She's not a man fighting women. Why isn't he apologizing for that one? Hemant Mehta continues, just to be clear, Dawkins is literally wrong when he says Khalif is a genetically male boxer and that her supposed XY chromosomes are undisputed. That allegation is very much in dispute, and Dawkins is just straight up lying about it. That tweet got plenty of traction after it was amplified by a chorus of bigots, including Elon Musk, wow, who later wrote, Facebook, aka Meta, can never be trusted. J.K. Rowling also jumped in on this whole anti-Imane Khalif thing, and apparently, as far as I can tell, Musk and Rowling have both been named in a criminal case in France, I believe, for cyber harassment, basically, against Imane Khalif. Which, good for her, yes, absolutely. I want to see less cyber harassment. You know, somebody says a mean word to you or whatever, okay, just move on, block them or whatever. That's not what this is. This isn't just someone being mean. This is full-blown that could get her killed in her country. She should absolutely sue the shit out of them and get criminal charges filed. Anyways, continuing with Hemant Mehta, Dawkins' claim never made any sense. Why would Facebook punish him for something he posted on Twitter? Oh yeah, I didn't realize he posted that on Twitter, not Facebook. Those are two different companies. They have very different moderation rules. Why would Facebook punish him for bigotry that is routinely shared on Facebook? Evangelist Franklin Graham, just to name one example, has said far more hateful things about trans people far more frequently. His page remains up and running. If you want to find bigotry on Facebook, you won't have to look far. It's everywhere. There's just no way Dawkins would be punished this severely for this reason. And then apologize to Facebook for it? Why? Why would Facebook delete a page without explanation? I don't know. I've seen that happen before. No explanation for things happen. I don't know how Facebook works. Maybe Facebook always provides one. I've been penalized for various things I've posted in the past, but Facebook always tells me what the problem is, whether or not I agree with it, to prevent me from doing it again. They also send warnings before a page is deleted. Yeah, that's how YouTube operates also. So what the hell happened? Well, Dawkins' tweet about Facebook has now been deleted without explanation. Oh, at least he deleted it. And sadly, he didn't even delete the Imane Khalif one. He deleted the tweet about Facebook. I can't get over that. His Facebook page is back up and running. And here's the kicker. Danny Lever, Public Affairs and Communications Director at Meta, which owns Facebook, says there is no censorship issue at all. Dawkins' page just got hacked, and the company shut it down until Dawkins could verify the page was his. Danny Lever, quote, "This is not what happened. Dawkins' account appears to have been compromised or hacked, so we took action to secure the account and prevent wrong usage of the page. That step was taken on July 30th. His last post was on July 25th. Before the Olympics even started and was not even topical to boxing. This action had nothing to do with any content Mr. Dawkins posted, and we are in the process of restoring the page as soon as it's secured. While we were focused on securing the page, we regret that we weren't able to communicate this until to the account holder more promptly. Yeah, I get it. You know, with hacks, you can't communicate with the person promptly. It needs to be like evaluated, like, is this the kind of thing where somebody physically got a hold of their device and like logged into their stuff or whatever? If that's the case, communicating with the person is bad. It would alert the hacker to the fact that they're being watched, or that they're, that the account is being protected by Facebook or whatever. It would make sense that they wouldn't communicate if there's a hack, but, whatever. Anyway, Hemet Mehta says, in a separate response directly to Dawkins, she added, the removal of your page was a precautionary measure due to indications of potential compromise, not due to any issues with the content you posted. There are many, many reasons to be critical of Meta, says Hemet Mehta, but that explanation makes a lot of sense. It tracks with everything that happened. Indeed, Dawkins tweeted on August 2nd about this very thing. My Facebook page has been deleted for no apparent reason, and we have not received a response from Facebook. Was it something I said? No, it wasn't something he said, says Hemet Mehta. He's blaming censorship when the answer probably boils down to an old guy forgetting his password after someone else got access to his page. As of this writing, though, Dawkins hasn't apologized for spreading misinformation about the boxer or for furthering a conspiracy theory about why the Facebook page was removed. If he thinks deleting the tweet will prevent the spread of the lie, guess what? The damage has already been done. Thank you so much for posting it to Substack, though. So nice of him, right? I've said this before, but it's appalling that the Center for Inquiry continues its affiliation with him. Yeah, CFI. I think he started CFI or something. I know people who have worked for CFI, been very high up, and maybe the president of CFI. I don't remember. It's just like a nonprofit that, what do they even do? I forget. Nonprofit organization that promotes science, critical thinking, and secularism worldwide. I'm not sure what they actually do, though. Oh, it's started by Carl Sagan. I didn't know that. Isaac Asimov, James Randi, Paul Kurtz. I didn't know. That's interesting. In 1991. Really cool, actually. CFI works to reduce belief in pseudoscience and the paranormal. It also advocates for the end of pseudoscience wherever it arises. I'm not sure how they do that, though. Usually, like American atheists, they have people like tracking bills that are submitted, on a state level and on a federal level, and they analyze the bills and they break them down and all this stuff. That's what American atheists do. They also sue states on behalf of people who are violating others' civil rights, their First Amendment rights or whatever. What does CFI do? I have no idea. Say, examining religion, fighting pseudoscience, that's not specific. Anyway, Dawkins is affiliated with him is the point. To end the article, Hemet Mehta says, I repeat, a genetically male boxer was not fighting women in the Olympics. Dawkins is still lying about that and refuses to own up to it. Not only did he refuse to own up to it and continue to lie, but he straight up said that it's undisputed XY. It is not. My God. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry to say this. He's like one of the religious figures that I cover. Again, this video may burn a lot of bridges for me. I don't know what to do with this. It's disappointing to see somebody attacking a minority group who didn't even do anything. He's complaining about something that's fictitious and ginning up hate against people for absolutely no reason. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments.